to Karina's Forte. And man, do I have something for you. So look, I was going through, because I go through a lot of video every day, right? And so I see a lot of dope creators. And if their thing is dope, I'll share it. You know what I mean? Or save it or whatever. And so I came across this one creator. Her name is Chemistry on TikTok. And she's dope. She talks about all history, basically black history, which is American history anyway. Anywho, she let it be known that two of the biggest things that ever happened in America happened at the same exact time. And I said, what? One was the Great Depression. You say, what? And the other was the Harlem Renaissance. And it's like, wait a minute. When you see pictures of the Great Depression, it's depressing, both black and white people, because you figure it started took some notes. It started in 1929 and it happened, it was triggered by the stock market crash. Yeah, it changed everything. It was caused by bank failures, collapse in the world trade, the money supply, all of this. So reduced consumer spending, government policies. Then they had a monetary policy where they actually raised the credit rates. So it made it even harder to get a loan. You know what I mean? Then it also affected jobs. It was unemployment, poverty and hardships, social and political change. It was a lot going on. And you're like, what? And I'm looking at the pictures and they look so depressing. Watch this. Yeah, that's pretty sad, right? And you see mostly white people, right? But you see black people affected also. And then comes the Harlem Renaissance. And it's amazing over there. I mean, the Harlem Renaissance was something to talk about. I mean, that's the creation of jazz, blues, gospel, everything. That we talking Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, the Savoy Ballroom. Oh my gosh, major. Now this is the same time as the Depression, y'all. Like, say what? It was like the same time, and it's like, holy cow, what a big difference. On one side, you got this horrible thing, but then on the other side, you got the Black Indigenous Americans creating, being creative, laughing, joking, drinking, having fun. And it's just way different from the Depression. Depression looked crazy. But this one, the Harlem Renaissance is like a cultural, social, and artistic movement. That's what it was. And it started as early as like 1910s, something like that. And it lasted to the mid 1930s, right? And it just celebrated Black and Indigenous Americans' heritage, our culture, our identity. I mean, it was all centered around the Harlem, which is now being regenified. Yeah, they take the soul out of everything. But it's so like amazing. And it's wild though, too. Can you imagine that both of these things are happening at the same time? Hunger, poverty, whatever. And I'm saying, like, the only time I knew about the Depression was when I went to school. I was never, ever taught that. Like in the household, my grandparents never taught that. And my grandfather was in World War II. You know what I mean? Because I think the Depression started at 1929, because that's when the stock market crashed. And so it is not making sense, right? And I'm saying, like, why haven't I ever heard about it? Why didn't my grandparents ever talk about it? Let me just show you what the Renaissance looked like and what they created and did at that time. Check it. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because I know black people felt the depression, right? But why didn't it bother them? Like the Renaissance and everything went on, but I know when the depression came, it kind of halted everything, brought everything down a little bit. It wasn't as much lollygagging, right? Then you think about it, like, why is that so? Why is that a fact? Well, the thing is this: black people come from struggle. The depression was like something normal to them. White people, it wasn't normal, but black people was normal. Now that's crazy, right? You see those pictures of the Great Depression, it looked crazy. See the Renaissance. And they're thinking like, how could they be smiling, laughing, joking this? Because we're different. When it comes to our communities, whether you know it or not, yes, we have killed each other in the past and still do. But everybody does when it's a crime of proximity. You live in the neighborhood, so we're probably going to get into it. That's it. It happens in white neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods, Asian neighborhoods, you name it. It happens. Crime of proximity. But the mere fact that the depression wasn't really felt for us is crazy. That means we had a depression every day. It was normal to us. It wasn't normal to the white people. They struggled. And again, a lot of them are selfish too. Back then, now, we have a sense of community. You could always eat and borrow from the neighbors. That's how I grew up. You could borrow sugar, butter, any of those things. That's just how it was, right? So this makes you really understand why now all the things that have happened and transpired, we like, where those fans at? Clap. Where those fans at? Clap. The reason why is because this is our normal. It's sad. Same country, our normal. It makes no sense. Anywho, just a little tidbit that actually sparked me like I couldn't believe it. I was like, why? Until I really researched it and thought about it. Yeah. Anywho, I still need you to get up. Yeah, you. Get up, get out, and know your history.